Mike Tyson is no stranger to the rumor mill. From his early days as a rising star in the boxing world to his more recent resurgence as a pop culture figure, Tyson's life has always been under scrutiny. But now a new wave of rumors has surfaced, threatening to turn his world upside down once again. This time, it's not about his career or his finances. It's about something far more personal. Allegedly, there's been increasing buzz around Tyson's relationship with his longtime mentor, CUS D'AMATO, with claims that CUS may have been secretly gay. Even more shocking, there are rumors suggesting that Tyson and D'AMATO had a relationship that went beyond the boxing ring.
There's nothing playful about him.
And you liked that?
Hey, you know what? I loved it. Someone cared about me. Yeah. And if anybody says something to me, I punch him in the face, attack him. Yeah, attack you physically.
Were you ever afraid?
I was always afraid of him. I'm afraid of him now, like that. He made sure you were afraid of him.
But I mean, you were like twice as big as him.
No, that don't mean nothing. He had the system of intimidation down like a science.
Really?
He had it down to a science.
A claim that Tyson, according to sources, has reacted to with outright rage. The whispers started quietly at first, with only a few people in boxing circles speculating about D'AMATO's personal life. But over the last few months, the talk has become louder, spreading across social media and into mainstream gossip outlets, especially since the Diddy's recent drama. The core of the rumor suggests that D'AMATO, who remained unmarried and largely kept to himself throughout his life, might have had a hidden side that very few people knew about. Allegedly, the relationship between D'AMATO and Tyson, which had always been described as that of a mentor and student, is now being painted in a much different light by those speculating about what went on behind closed doors. It's no secret that D'AMATO and Tyson were incredibly close. Tyson has spoken at length about how D'AMATO took him in when he was just a troubled kid from the streets of Brooklyn and gave him a new purpose in life. According to Tyson, D'AMATO was like a father to him, someone who believed in him when no one else did, who gave him the discipline and focus he needed to become one of the greatest boxers in history. But now some are apparently twisting that relationship into something else entirely. Allegations are circulating that suggest there was more to their bond, with some going as far as to claim that they were involved in a secret romantic relationship. The rumors have allegedly sparked intense emotions from Tyson, who has always been protective of D'AMATO's memory. Sources on the internet say that he feels like the allegations are an insult not only to him, but also to the man who played such a pivotal role in his life. Allegedly, Tyson has told friends that these rumors are part of a broader attempt to tarnish and change his real legacy, and that he won't stand for it. Word has it that he's been especially angry in private, lashing out at the idea that anyone would try to smear D'AMATO's reputation in such a way. The fact that D'AMATO never married and lived a somewhat isolated life has only added fuel to the fire, with some allegedly suggesting that his reclusiveness was a sign that he was hiding something. But according to insiders, Tyson is having a hard time keeping his cool. For someone like Tyson, whose life has been defined by his ability to fight, this is an unfamiliar situation. The timing of these rumors has also raised some eyebrows. Tyson has recently been back in the spotlight in a big way, with his memoirs being released and various media appearances that have reignited interest in his life and career. Some have speculated that the rumors about D'AMATO may have been stirred up as a way to capitalize on Tyson's renewed fame, though this is, of course, just another layer of speculation. Regardless of where the rumors came from, the impact on Tyson has been undeniable. According to some sources, Tyson has been venting his frustrations to those close to him, reportedly saying that he feels like the rumors are a betrayal of everything he and D'AMATO stood for. The bond between Tyson and D'AMATO has always been portrayed as one built on mutual respect and admiration. D'AMATO was more than just a trainer. He was a father figure who gave Tyson the tools he needed to succeed, both inside and outside the ring. To have that relationship questioned in such a way has allegedly left Tyson feeling hurt and angry. It's important to note that there is no hard evidence to back up these claims. The rumors are just that, rumors. But in the world of celebrity gossip, that often doesn't matter. Once a story like this starts to spread, it can take on a life of its own. Meanwhile, some in the boxing community have apparently come forward to defend Tyson and D'Amato. Several former fighters who trained with D'Amato have publicly stated that the rumors are baseless and disrespectful to both men's legacies. They've described D'Amato as a man who was deeply committed to his fighters and to the sport of boxing, and they've expressed outrage at the idea that anyone would try to tarnish his memory with such allegations. However, not everyone in the boxing world has been so quick to dismiss the rumors. Allegedly, there are some who have remained silent on the matter, possibly because they don't want to get involved in such a sensitive issue.
You know, so odd that you said it. My mentor, CUS D'AMATO, his objective was to think of nothing. You're nothing, nothing's nothing but the objective, the job, and that was his psychological warfare. You know, nothing matters. You're nothing, nothing. But the only thing that matters is the objective, and getting through, accomplishing that objective by going through these methods of boxing.
Do you ever stop and think about how fortunate it was you ran into that guy?
Listen, till this day, I really don't understand that. So how did this happen?
Because so many people...
Listen, by the time I was born, he was 66 years old by the time I was born.
Yeah, crazy. So many people could, you know...
Can't even explain it. It's a magnificent individual.
He was an amazing guy. An amazing part of boxing, and with a unprecedented grasp of the mindset required for combat sports. That was the thing that always really stood out about him. Like, he was a guy that was so well versed in the mindset. I would listen to his speeches that he would talk, when he would talk about you, when he would talk about boxing, he would talk about fear. And about fear can be like a fire, it can cook your food, or it can burn your house down. And you have to control it. And when he would describe it, like, it would be so enlightening. He was such a man of wisdom that when he would describe things, they would sink in. They would. Somebody could say the same thing, but with him, he had so much life experience.
He wore so many hats. He was a psychiatrist. Yeah. He was a doctor. He was a father. He was a mother. You know, he was just all around that individual.
Yeah, and with an amazing knowledge of boxing. And for a guy like you, it was almost like it was ordained.
And that's what I always said. It was meant for me to meet this guy. Because I had no way in a million years. Everybody said, you know way you're going to be champ. You're too small.
Yeah.
So you're too short. No way. These guys are too big for you. He's always said, this is the greatest fight ever lived. This and this. Always saying this about me. I'm like, oh, God, this guy's just souping me up. I never thought I could, achieve what he was saying. The things he was saying was just so gigantic in my eyes at the time.
Yeah, I mean, when it all happened, and it turned out that he was true, and you have to absorb all this when you're 20 years old. You know, I always say this about Justin Bieber, and I don't think Justin Bieber nearly had to deal with what you had to deal with. Your experience was so much crazier because you were not just an incredibly famous guy, you were the baddest man on the planet. So there was like an aura to you everywhere you went. People wanted to see you. You know, 50-year-old men don't give a fuck about Justin Bieber. You know, no disrespect. He's a great guy, a great singer, but he's like young girls. For young girls, that guy's unbelievably famous, but he's been famous since he was a little kid. I'm like, when people hear about him going crazy,
right?
Amazing. When people hear about him going insane, I'm like, of course he's going insane. You have no idea what it would be like to be him and to be 17 years old, and girls literally trying to break into his house to throw pussy at him. They're coming down chimneys. They're flying in on parachutes. They're doing anything they can. They just want to be around him. And you want him to be normal?
He just met me. I'm a little kid. He said, you're going to be the world champ.
It's interesting, Mike. You get emotional when you talk about CUS. But you said CUS didn't like it when you showed emotion.
Oh, yeah? Like...
Why didn't he want you to show emotion? Did he equate it with weakness?
I don't know what he did.
You okay?
Yeah, how could I ever do an interview about him when I start crying? How did this guy know? How did he? I didn't know I was the one.
Well, you were a specimen.
It takes more than that to be a fighter. Yeah, it's talking about my character and my discipline, and I didn't know what discipline was, so he explained to that. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Mike, did you love him or you were afraid of him?
Both.
Really?
Yeah, both.
How did you reconcile that, loving him and being afraid of him?
How do you reconcile that? You're his slave. If he told me to kill you, I would kill you.
Really?
Yeah. Listen. I'm a young black kid from the hood.
Right.
If you said something disrespectful, my fighting coach would beat you and stop punching you.
Right. Okay.
So, I said I dedicate my life to him for that. I wish I could say he was just this white man I played. I wish I could say that.
Right.
But that's not how it goes.
Mm-hmm. You miss him to this day? Do you think, Mike, that if he had lived, that your life would have been different?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
No doubt.
My question today is, if we could bring CUS D'AMATO back with us for 15 minutes, it's a 3-part question for you. What would be one thing you always wish you told him but never got a chance to tell him?
Shit, don't make me cry. Why'd you ask me that question? Shit. I would say,
David.
I would say, they call me the greatest.
And Pat, with your permission, can I continue? Can I ask the second part to that question? What moment in your life do you wish he was here to witness that he didn't get a chance to?
First title. Yeah, my first title fight. Nigga, you got me crying in this motherfucker. Oh, shit. Whew, it's not gonna be good.
What is one challenge or hardest moment in your life that you faced that you wish he was there to counsel you?
No, it was ordained for me to counsel myself.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike, why does he get you emotional so quickly?
Because I'm a savage.
Is it because he understood the savage more than anyone else in the world?
Well, there's savages in here.
No question.
So they understand. And any course, instead of breaking the law, I want to be the best that God ever created.
Up until him, was he the first person that believed in you the way that he did? Okay,
yeah.
Got it. The power of somebody believing you.
We all need mentors.
Powerful question. Go for it.
Who got you involved in boxing in the first place?
I was in an institution. I was locked up. I met this guy named Irish Bobby Stewart, and he used to train me. Once I got my grades up and I had to, submit.
Yeah.
He used to train me, and I was getting good. And one day, I think he had a black eye, or his nose got broken, and he was mad the next day. And I thought he was mad and wasn't going to box with me no more. But he was mad because his wife didn't want him to box with me. So he said, okay, I'm going to take you to this other place, and we're going to take you to the next level. And that's how I met CUS D'AMATO. And this guy turned me into a monk. So this is why everybody thinks I'm this guy. This guy turned me into this guy. I was only a 12-year-old kid. This guy turned me into this monster.
What did it feel like at first when you first started fighting? Did you love it right away?
I was totally megalomaniac. I thought that was God. I thought no one could. Oh, because he told me I was. My mentor told me all this stuff, and everything he told me was right. I was beating the guy, knocking everybody out.
It's a hype man.
Yeah, no, he's more than a hype man. He's a psychologist. He's a mother. He's a father. He's a trainer. You know what I mean? He's a doc. He's so many things. So so many hats.
So when you started boxing and you found these mentors, did you start to, I use the word behave a little more? Did you get in less trouble now that you...
Yo, less trouble because they had my mind, they had my interest. For some reason, they made me believe the heavyweight champion of the world was the biggest thing in the world. For some reason, they just made me believe that if you weren't heavyweight champion, you weren't shit. My mentor, CUS D'AMATO, he's fucking the fan. He is fan to fly. He keep telling people this is the next heavyweight champ. He's the greatest fighter I think we're gonna ever have ever. And yes, he was just pumping that, taking my films of me. I had 15 fights in 1 year, 15 knockouts. So you take it, send it to all the sportscasters, and then come in and people here start bidding to have me fight in their city or whatever, their town.
Was CUS D'AMATO like the biggest influence on your because he's like a legend in New York, right? Like because I hear him like Nas rap about him and shit. I don't even know much about him. What was his past before he met you?
Before he met me, he had Floyd Patterson. He was 2-time heavyweight champion. He had Jose Torres, the light heavyweight champion. And he had other fighters. He had Rocky Graciano when he first started him out. And he has had many fighters during the war. He had fighters in World War II. And when I was born, I think he was 56 years old or something. I always say that. This guy saved my life. So when I was born, he was this old.
Right.
And just meeting him and him inspired me. No one can inspire you, reach deep down in the core of me like he could to make me want to succeed. He gave me an ego. That's why I first got my ego from him. Right. You know, I wanted to be the best and I would do anything to anybody to do it. Or crush them, I would do anything. The best is all that mattered to me. Preeminence when I die, you know.
You think New York gave you a little bit of that too, as a place?
Well, New York gave me that tough guy mentality and stuff. But then when you really understand why you're doing this stuff, you know, listen, I'm not saying I'm smarter than anyone, but I'm sure if you really ask somebody, what is you doing this for? What is this really for? You know, and if they're conscious, they know this is for preeminence. This is for the end of time. We're leaving our mark.
Did that thought ever escape from your brain? Or did you ever have a moment of feeling like you wanted to quit?
All the time fighting, right?
Yeah.
All the fucking, as an amateur, I wanted to quit. Listen, the pressure's over fucking whelming, driving me nuts. I think, I don't know, I might want to jump out the fucking window. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, but then I found out this. When I was a teenager, I said, hey, I was like 17 years old, I found out this. Hey, they're more scared of me than I am of them. And then after I found that out, it was a wrap. You know, then the Iron Mike Monkster came out.
Right.
And I found out they're more afraid of me than I was of them. Then it was over.
There's even been some speculation that the rumors may have been started by people who have long-standing grudges against Tyson. Though again, this is purely speculative. Whether or not the rumors will eventually fade away remains to be seen.